artist to original art for sale to DIY kits to a huge mail order business to courses. You guys are going to love listening to Jackie Huang today and his journey with his company Wool Buddies. They're adorable. You have to look them up. But we talk about the experience that the people we serve want and need as we share the joy of creativity. I'm Lyric Kinard. This is Creatives on Camera, coming to you from the Academy for Virtual Teaching, where we are all artists, makers, crafters who share our love of the thing we do with other people through online education, through video marketing, through being able to teach the thing we do and see the joy and creativity that sparks in our students. So let's get right to it and listen to our conversation. Jackie, it is such a delight and a pleasure to have you with us today. Tell us who you are and what your business is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's good to be here. My name is Jackie, and I'm the creator founder of WoolBuddy. I was an animator and also story artist. I used to work in the game industry and also the film industry. So, and then about 15 years ago, I believe, 2010, I started my own business. So I launched the brand called WoolBuddy. We are teaching people how to do needle felting.
It's fantastic. As a fellow fiber artist, I adore watching people do needle felting. It is such a beautiful and fun and accessible art form. And for those of you who are listening and not looking on video, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel so you can see what's in the background of Jackie's video. That gives you a clue to who he worked for as a 3D artist and storyboard. It's a amazing 3D needle felted R2D2. It's so cool. And I was telling you before that I'm just fangirling over here because the artists who work in gaming and movies are phenomenal, right? They are just... So you were an artist. You did things in a completely different way than WoolBuddy, which is needle felting, products and... How did that transition happen? How did you go from working for really well-known and very successful film and gaming industry people to a completely different medium and business model?
Oh yeah, so it quite so basically I was a 3D artist. I was doing in a computer, right? So the old days, just the virtual world computer, so we create movies. So I was doing previous at Lucasfilm, the Clone Wars, the TV series. So during that time, a whole bunch of us, we went to Comic-Con in San Diego. So my supervisor, my directors, and a whole bunch of different story artists, and we went and then we bring the sketchbook. But during that time, I was so busy because I just had a newborn, so I don't have time to actually make my sketchbook. But I make some toy for my daughter, so then I just bring the WoolBuddy to Comic-Con. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know what to expect. People doing like a flat, right? So the 2D painting drawings, but I have like 3D characters. So, and it went really well. It's a 5-day event. I sold out the second day. And I have to keep raise the price and to slow it down. It's just like the second day is all gone. Like I just sit at an empty table talking to people and that's it. So
Yeah, if you haven't been to a Comic-Con, this is just a huge fandom for all different kinds of beautiful, amazing fantasy worlds. And the people who attend are often makers themselves, right? So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that they were attracted to your WoolBuddies, your 3D toys. Now, did you have kits at that time, or did you just have the
No.
finished needle felted things?
Yeah, just a finished product, just some create
Right?
characters. So not a kit yet. So we haven't to that stage yet.
Right. So, and I love that you said you raised your price,
Yeah.
because as soon as you see there's a demand for it, when it sells out that fast, you know that you can raise your price, that the market will bear it. And that's a very smart thing to do. Needle felting especially is very time intensive. It's also something that can be done while you're sitting around doing other things, but it's not just fling it out there fast.
Mhm.
And um, you can't make digital prints of it. It's a one-off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened after Comic-Con?
Yeah, so at Comic Con, so because I sit there, so one of the another supervisor sitting next to me, he look at the whole situation. He asked me a question, so that actually is kind of make me start to think about the business, because he says, "Are you serious or you just goof around?" So I think I'm probably serious, and not just have fun and do something. I think I want to do something with this. So the first thing he said, go find a lawyer. I said, wow,
Mm.
that was so I never think of that. And then he said, yeah, you need to protect all your brand. So you need to have a trademark. You need to have some kind of a structure. So that way, when you launch a business, then you are fully protected. So and then I started to think about, okay, how can I make that into a business? And then I start creating more. I try to use all kind of different methods and invent machines and doing things, but all of those have failed. So it doesn't work at all.
All
And
right, so this is interesting. Two things that I want to reiterate, because so many of the artists and creatives that we work with, as they go into deciding that they want to create a business from that, right? Whether they're teaching or like you are doing, creating a product, we kind of continue to see it as a hobby. And you, from the beginning, that was such good advice, to treat it professionally, to treat it as you are a professional, you are a business. And there are as many different ways to create and run a business as there are people, but this is the way that worked for you. And it is important to protect your intellectual property. So what was next after getting set up, protected, getting the trademark, getting the copyrights, getting everything set up? I'm assuming you licensed as whatever,
yeah,
sole
so
proprietor, LLC, whatever
yeah,
corporation. You got everything in order before you started.
yeah, during that time, I kind of like just do and learn. So we go try to do a lot of different passes. And then, so we not form an LLC. Actually, we were sole proprietor for a very long time. So kind of like just me. And then we try to do things. Um, and we don't feel that's a business yet. Even when we have a lawyer, so we actually talked to a very good lawyer, and then she's helping us and try to, because she's a lawyer for artists, and she actually helping a lot of artists to try to start their business. So we all said, but still don't feel like business because there's no income. So yeah, it's just like we do it. I went to Comic Con. We sell good, but still I cannot quit my job until one of the museum in downtown San Francisco, they want to carry my line, so they want to carry my work and put in their museum. So and during that time, then we started providing. I start making for them, and then they pretty much can sell about like for 2,000 dollar worth of a product per month. So they say, oh, that's pretty good. One museum can sell that much, and now I just had to find 10 of them, and then we
Were
can make
you still making products, or
product
were
now.
you kits?
Product. Every single one I made, every single one, the
Yeah,
original.
so you're trading your hours for each
Yes,
dollar, right?
yes,
As an artist, as a creator, you're
yeah,
making a thing and selling the thing, which takes your time, which is only scalable to a certain point.
Yeah,
because
it's not
time is
scalable at all.
finite,
Yeah,
right?
it's we always facing is we're running out of inventory. We're running out of product. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like we have to work very long hours to just make them, and we cannot charge them my hourly rate because if you sell one little fell critter for over $30, nobody will buy it.
Right.
So then we have to make a lot. And I start asking people to help me make shapes and start finding things and creating machines to do it, but it is not working.
Right. It's
So
still a handmade thing. I remember
yeah,
the other thing. You tried and failed.
yeah.
You tried a whole bunch of different things. So many people, when they try a thing or two or three and it doesn't work, they're like, oh, this just isn't going to work. What made you keep going? Why did you keep with this instead of going, oh, well, I have this stable other day job. I have this other thing.
So
Why am I doing all this work and suffering?
yeah, it's just like kind of try and find out, right? Because I cannot um if I have this idea, I want to try it. Even I know it's gonna fail, but I still want to try it and see is this gonna work or is not. So there's so many errors we make, so many mistakes, and so many things is not working. But the good thing about that is once it's not working, so you know this is not working, and then you don't have to do the same thing again. Then you find a new
Right?
way to at least somehow it gonna be right.
Right. This is this is the thing that too many people get hung up on is if something doesn't work, they think they personally are a failure instead of looking at it as this is a vital and essential part of the learning process. That's what we do as artists, right? We don't draw like Michelangelo the first time we pick up a pencil. We do a lot of bad stuff before we get good. And every process you try that doesn't work, you look at it and analyze it, and that is essential learning that you needed to get to the next step, right? Just like you said,
Yeah.
that thing needs to change. This part
No.
doesn't work. Maybe this part of it does, and we just let go of that and figure out
Yeah.
what to do with the next thing.
Yeah. And all the those failure is actually is good. It's a lot better because if we keep doing the same thing over and over, usually it won't lead you success because you just like stay there. So sometimes, a lot of times, we need to punch you in the face so to wake up. Right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
like all of our breakthrough is because of the failure.
Absolutely. And as it just as an artist creating, right? Some of my biggest growth times have been from absolute disasters that happened. And instead of going, that's it, I'm done, it turns you in a direction that you never thought possible. And it was a vital lesson that you needed to learn in order to progress to a higher level.
Yeah. So, like for example, like you mentioned, we're selling DIY kits, right? But at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
we just sell the pre-made, so we never think about doing the kit. But I self-publish a book, so it's a tabletop book. It's just like a collection of my work. Most of the artists they have their sketchbook. It's a collection of their
Mm-hmm.
work, right? So I just follow the same path to do the collection of my felt characters. And I have 1,000 copies. I print 1,000 copies. I
Mm-hmm.
hope we can sold out in one trade show. And then being 6 months, no, none. We still have like 800, 900 copies, and the
Oops.
salary is low.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, I put a lot of money to print this, and I still have all that inventory. So one thing we said, okay, let's think about how because there's a book and people pick it up and flip through, and then they put it down. There's nothing in there they need to take it home.
Right.
And so we have this idea, just okay, let's put one sheet of paper about the instructions and let them try it. And then we put a
Hmm.
little very cheap plastic bag and put one small needle and just like very little amount of like material, just about
Mm-hmm.
like this. So you can make like little tiny penguin. And then we sold out in our like a couple of shows. We sold out the whole like 800 copies.
Yeah.
So that
It's
was
turning it from consuming something into a participatory experience.
yeah, it's just like, oh my God, that's people want it, people want to do it, and then that's what give me this idea. Is like, oh, people really want to do this. So then I start to develop different kits, like see how to show people how to make them. Because the first thing is it's a conflict, right? So you're an artist, you discover this amazing technique to do needle felt, and you can create work, and you're afraid other people to learn this, and they start becoming your competitor. Once they learn, because it's not hard, it's very simple, and they
Hmm.
learn this, and they can make their own, and then we have a lot of competitors. But once I jump out of that, so people want to learn this, and I can still be a good artist. I teach people how to make them, so I don't have to afraid they be my competitor because everyone has their own styles.
That's so important too, is that we can come from a mindset of fear and scarcity. And
Yeah.
that's what competition is, right? When you look at the world through, I'm competing with other people, that automatically puts it someone wins and that means somebody has to lose. And that's a completely different mindset than abundance and collaboration,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We as teachers are collaborating with our students. And one of my mentors at the very beginning, when I was learning my art form, and she is like the doyenne, she is the queen of the textile art quilt world. And we're like, when you make your patterns, when you teach people how to do your thing, aren't you afraid that they'll do it? And she goes, no, everybody knows my work. Nobody will ever make a Carol Breyerfell or Gentry quilt. you know they know that that's my work and it brings me joy. And she just this is also back in the early days of the internet, where artists were really afraid to put pictures of their work online because they're afraid somebody will steal it. She goes, I just choose not to worry about that. It's not worth the energy, right? And as teachers, especially, that's what we do. You make your work, and nobody can actually make your work. And that's what the book is. It was inspiration, it was your brainchild, your creativity, but then letting them into the joy of the process
Yeah.
is a whole different thing. So that collaboration between you as the artist and then your customers as co-creators is a joyful thing instead of a fearful thing. And what
Mhm.
happened because of that?
Yes, totally. Because like nowadays, right? So like AI. So what we found is not about the final product or the final work, right? The artwork. It's more about the journey. So the experience, right? So once you are making something, not about how good you are, it's about your experience. You experience the journey through art, and you get emotional, you learn, and then you feel it. So then that's very unique. AI cannot take that away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
AI can give you information, but it cannot give you an experience.
Yeah.
And art is so individual. And so, a robot can't take over our hands and do the thing for us.
Yeah.
This is something that I think is so important and so needed in the
Mhm.
world right
Yeah.
now. People need that making, that seeing a product of their own hands. So I'm sure it was a giant process figuring out kits and sourcing materials and getting it all put to, just there's so much involved in merchandise, right?
Yeah, it's huge. And I was in my garage like all the entrepreneurs, and one day actually, our city official actually come and knock my door, said they are going to turn down my business. You cannot do any business in the garage. So I said, "Look, how about sleep job? They all start from the garage, right?" They said, no, actually, not. That's illegal. You cannot do any business in the garage. Garage is supposed to be garage, put in car. You cannot do any business related. Then I know, oh, no, oh, wow, that's because I was packing kits in my garage with all the
Mm-hmm.
boxes, material, and things. And then, oh wow, there's a law, cannot you cannot do business in the garage.
Maybe you can do it in your basement or your house, but who has room for that?
Yeah, yeah. So they say that anything business related cannot, if you have a business license, right? So you cannot do it
Right.
in the garage. Yeah. Then
Okay.
actually, that also is another turning point. And then we start using the third party warehouse.
Hmm.
So we start to, okay, we cannot do that. What should we do? Because then we find some local shops so they can help us pack those. And that's
Mm.
why I can actually scale this because they can do a lot quicker than me, and also it's cheaper. So they are so that way we can start. I can start more focus, not because I was doing packing every day, so I can start focusing more on the art side to the teaching side.
Hmm. All right. And do you have a brick and mortar shop now?
Not our own, but we sell to the museum stores
Mm.
and other channel and also online.
All right. So you have a product and you are a distributor of
Hmm.
that product
Yeah.
and other people sell it for you. Now let's turn to when we first met. You were talking about this amazing business, and it is a very successful business. It is doing really, really well. Um, and you're so busy with that. You had talked about adding online education. Does that already exist, or are you building it, and why? Hello, friends. Just a quick break asking you to please leave a review. Help us to find more people that can use the content that we provide here at Creatives on Camera. Send us a comment. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you found really useful in any episodes that you've listened to. Thanks. Appreciate you.
So most of the common we found when the customer coming, so we're selling kits, right? DIY kits. We
Mm-hmm.
in the kit has a material, instruction tool, and also we have a video. So that is already kind of teaching,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it feel really sad. Is a lot of time they come back say, "Oh, I bought your kit last year." They
Hmm.
haven't even opened it. So they haven't started because this feels like there's a invisible wall between actually you bought a kit and that you're actually doing it. So there's an invisible wall. So I want to break that wall so people can actually enjoy and experience. And because we are doing a maker fair, so those are usually really successful because we are there and we help them. So they are not afraid. So when you try to a new art form, you're always afraid, right? So how about if I messed up? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very crafty. I don't know how to do this. So that's why
Right.
give me the idea. We want to build a community and then we want to build the online education so they can join us and ask me a question. It's a live, so they join me. So it's not just watching a YouTube tutorial because there's so many there already.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the difference between information and an experience, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Access to you live, even if they're like I have a lot of on-demand classes that are just straight up series of videos and
Hmm.
tutorials and things, but they still can email me leave a comment with a question. Um,
Sure.
and that's the value. I I'm a fearless artist. I love playing around new mediums, new things, but even then there are so many things that I can read a book about it, I can have all the supplies, and until somebody holds my hand the first time, and it
Mhm.
only takes two steps, and then I'm like, oh, I got this, thanks. But being with somebody who knows how to do it absolutely breaks down that wall of that fear of what if I do it wrong? What if I waste these materials I don't have anymore? What if
Mhm.
all of these irrational
Yeah.
fears, right? So you're looking at, um, you have YouTube videos, you have written instructions, you have the kit, but you're offering, are they just live Zoom courses, or are you mixing on-demand paid courses with live Zoom experiences?
The plan is mixing. So we already have
Mm-hmm.
some kind of pay recording courses,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to have kind of like so like once a week, and we have like kind of like office hours. So there's like craft night, so people can just pop in and then work on something if they have questions.
right? Is there a community aspect in between that
Mhm.
area?
Yeah, right now we have Facebook group,
Hmm.
and also we are trying to build another new platform and try to see if that can have like a schedule and all the informations, and we
Hmm.
can maintain in that.
Are you actually building your own custom platform, or are you
No, no, we're
using
using we are thinking about school.
School is fantastic, I've heard.
Mhm.
Really great community, and the courses can be in there. And there's so many platforms
Yeah.
um, that work just fine for this, right? And
Mhm.
they make it so easy to
Yeah,
use.
very easy. It's all there. I don't need to code anything, and it's just there, and yeah, just run it.
Hmm. And I think what you said about having a community, the community aspect is so important. Um, and I've been teaching online for more than a couple decades. So the evolution has been really dramatic. Um, and it's only been in the last, and probably since COVID, and the last couple of years, it's really come to this, especially with AI, like we talked about, is that people are craving creative connections. They're
Mhm.
creating that being with like minded people, enjoying the creative experience together, supporting each other. So, community becomes sometimes more important than the instruction itself, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they coming to the workshop, especially in person workshop. For not most of the time they are not for like actually they want to be professional at this art form or craft form. It's more for oh I wanted to spend 2 hours, 3 hours with my friends and making something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just having the fun,
Yeah.
right?
Having fun. Yeah.
And in that case, it absolutely is just
Mhm.
a connection with real people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, how do you foster that online? How do you make that happen? What are some of the ways that you encourage people to keep connected together? Right now, you're on Facebook. I love that you're moving into another platform because I've been in amazing Facebook groups and
Hmm.
private groups and things like that, paid courses even, but you don't own that, and it can disappear at any
Yeah.
time, right? So having something outside of Facebook can be really important. So how are you working on building that part of your business, the online community and courses?
Kind of right now we are in a transition, right? So we're still doing lots of like in-person workshops.
Hmm.
So we travel. Actually, I travel around and teaching different in different country and different kids. So I kind of wanted to how can bring them back. So every time we do in trade shows, so we always have a one sign up sheet so they can
Hmm.
join our online workshop. To encourage them to to continue have this experience online. So we'll still try to. We're not sure yet. Sometimes the workshop, online workshop, doing really well, and sometimes it kind of quiet. So I
Hmm.
have to keep talking, and then sometimes running very smooth. So it's really depend on who's joining and also
Hmm.
what topic and what time. So,
Right.
but yeah, I found it's actually I don't take that as this is gonna work or this is not. It's more like just keep doing that, and then and yeah, and then become very consistent, and then this will I'm not looking at the result. It's more like this is something I want to support our customer, so support our
Hmm.
audience, so they can enjoy the felting and they can have that experience that I have, and then I just distribute to them.
Right. And it's a continual, it's back to that same try it out and see what
Hmm.
works,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
building this in, um, I I find that one thing that works really well for those of you out there listening haven't who want to build communities but also find a lot of your audience in person is a QR code right there so they can right away join into the community, and then a prompt right away, an assignment right away to get them to post one thing, right? And and also having done the online courses for a very long time, this is one thing that new online teachers kind of, especially coming from the in-person teaching world, we freak out about it. I have found that at least 50% of the people who sign up for paid courses, even expensive paid courses, they just don't show up. And that's okay. You serve the people who do show up, and they might be in the background. They might be participating silently or not, and you're still serving them, right? But it does take work to encourage the community and keep it going. It also takes kind of a critical mass of, if you don't have like an assignment, a challenge or something that they're going through together online, it takes a certain number of people to kind of keep the thing going without a huge struggle on the teacher's part.
Yeah, and for us, we kind of before the class, before the workshop, online workshop, we prepare them. So, and usually because we are selling kits, right? So we those online classes are free for now, but we encourage them to prepare, to have a certain tool. So we already have a video to preview what kind of tool they need, what to expect in the workshop. So they already prepare the material, prepare the tool. So when they come join the workshop, they all get very excited. So they want to get to work. And I found very interesting is one very successful is when I used to start workshop, right? So I kind of like introduce myself, introduce my company, talk about all this at the front. And I found that's not a very best way. And I found I should put that in the middle, because the workshop they should start get right to it, right? So to work on something, and then once they work, and then they can hear what I'm talking about, we start to chat. Talk about the experience, talk about where the WoolBuddy came from, what make a good felting, and about all the. Then make this workshop alive. So it's not like, oh, you sit there for like 5-10 minutes for just me try to promote my company, and they get really bored. And then once they're all eager to just try it to move on, right? To make something themselves.
That speaks to what people are there for and what we as teachers are here for. And this applies to social media videos. This applies to YouTube. This applies to any tutorial or anything. Even if the whole video is you telling your life story, right? It's not about us. They are there not to see how great we are or how pretty or how polished our video is. They're there because they want to have an experience of doing a thing. So get to it immediately. Get to the hook of what are you going to get from this, and get right into it. I totally agree. It's such a more effective formula to tell them immediately what they're going to get, start giving it right away. And then, you can put in your promotion or whatever education you need to do. I like to do it not just also in the middle, but kind of sprinkle it all the way through. Give them little bits that feel like they naturally belong in that part of whatever I'm teaching. There are a few classes I teach that we do talk for 15 or 20 minutes before we get into the thing, but I'm involving them in it. Usually it's like, here's the outline of what we're doing today. Why are you here? What are your expectations? And go around and get that and, reflect back to them what they hear. And that's like in an abstract design class that I teach, right? So it's very cerebral, it's not project oriented. So it's really hard to say, you're going to have this at the end of the day. It's more like, you're going to think this and know this. So pulling that out of them, the expectations, helps me to tailor the class to exactly what the people there need, right? And it's about them.
Yeah, it's about them.
Right. So I love that you are coming to that and you are doing that. What do you imagine this part of your business to look like in a year from now, if it was like seamless and easy and, push a button and it's perfect?
So I was expecting it's going to be a lot of challenges, and we kind of looking forward to that. looking forward to the challenges, looking forward to the failure, looking forward to something's not working. And then once we don't see that's a failure and that's not working, and we feel like that's a part of it, part of the business, part of our growth. And then I feel a lot more relaxed because I'm not afraid to make mistakes and I can just go for it. So what do we see if next few years? Because I think the beginning I was so worried, right? So always worried, always stressed. So now I want to be a lot more relaxed. So mentally prepared, and it's not like it's all perfect. No, it's gonna be like so hard, so challenges, but my mental will still can function relaxedly, very relaxed, and still can be very fun and enjoyable.
Will your business that you envision, you're having kits made, sourced, shipped, but somebody else is doing all that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And your time is involved in managing that quality control, just designing, which is the fun part, and then interacting with your customers is the main time expenditure. So the time that you'll be putting in is the ideas and then the interaction with your
Yeah,
people, right?
I need to be more focused on what's my hour, right? What I've been working on. So I still draw to do the shipping. I still draw to because those are like, oh, immediately I have to do it, right? But I need to very careful about how to use my time, and how to don't forget a lot of time business take over, so and artists disappear. So then you become a businessman, not an artist anymore. So this
Right.
is something I need to be very careful about. So when it changed, right? So when you create art, you don't usually don't think about how I'm gonna sell this, how they gonna make them, right? So you just make it because you enjoy it and you make it like very complicated and very nice, and but no one can actually reproduce that. So if you are business minded, you say, okay, no, don't you cannot put that much effort because that will be very expensive. So need to find the right balance so to move forward. Yeah.
Right. And when you get to a certain point in your business, especially with merchandise like that, but in other things, there are jobs that you have in your business, but then there are the things that only you can do that provide the value, right?
Yeah.
And the art, the designing, and the interacting with your people as the face of your business. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can provide that. Those are high value things. And they're the things that actually create the value in your business, right? But then there are jobs that could be a minimum wage. Somebody else could do it. And so many times we think we have to do all the things. That's been a really hard thing that I've learned as well, that it's hard to let go of having control over all of the things in my business. But when you bring on team members, that gives you more time to do the parts that fill your soul, but also provide the high value for your business. So that's when you can start scale. I encourage people to offload as soon as possible.
Yeah, every time we bring a new member on board and a business breakthrough. So because there's you cannot you won't be able to know everything or you do everything. So once we offload that, and they actually work a lot better than just I doing it.
Right? And the artist is able to come back.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It has been such a pleasure to hear about your business. I have a couple questions to end up with. If you could go back and give advice to your beginning WoolBuddy business self, what is a thing that you think would help you progress the quickest?
So I would say don't be afraid. Don't think too much. During that time, I think I was thinking too much. So kind of try to make everything perfect. So then this I get like really procrastinating, and that's why it can be done like very quick. But it's just I try to prepare, and then fail, right? So
Mm.
if you just try it and fail and then no, this is not gonna work, and then and change it up. And um I think just I would say I will enjoy more. I will just feel more, so not stress out, right? So it's just like, oh, this is a something I can enjoy, even something I really don't like, right? Like
Mhm.
the IRS audit, right? So then
Mm.
I can kind of enjoy how I feel, right? So it's not just I get stressed out and then try to just get over with.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, Work through it, fail faster so you can
Hmm.
grow faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I love that. Question number 2. What is the last thing you made?
Last thing I made a little opossum.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah, and
love
I
it.
tried to figure out how many kids I need to give this little opossum.
Oh, cute. Um, although I live in the American South and have had a few
Hmm.
encounters with opossums on very
Hmm.
early morning walks that were not cute.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah, but
have a
our
hiss.
opossum is cute. We already sold out. I cannot show because we don't have any.
Oh, that's fantastic. They are very cute to look at, and the babies on the backs are adorable. Um, Thank you so much for your time. Where can people find you online?
WoolBuddy.com.
WoolBuddy.com.
Yeah.
Look up Jackie. Where are some of the places coming up that you might be traveling to?
So I'm going to Japan for art show, and also I'm New York and Atlanta, and also the Chicago in April.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be
Are you
fun.
going to the trade show in Chicago to H&H? Oh, exciting. I will see
Uh-huh.
you there.
All right,
That's
awesome.
fantastic. What a fascinating journey, right? And so much wisdom in the process of learning to fail quickly, being unafraid to move forward and grow in beautiful and interesting ways as a business owner, especially as a teacher at heart, as somebody who wants to share what they do with the world. It's all about collaboration. It's all about sharing. It's all about abundance. There are definitely enough students out there in the world for all of us. If you want to do this thing, especially if you want to do it with other people around you who understand you, who get it, who know what it's like for all of the struggles with online teaching, with the tech, with all the things that we deal with the ways we try to figure out to reach our students, I invite you to join our free community at academyforvirtualteaching.com. It's a place where we share our wins, we brainstorm solutions to difficulties. It's so much easier, my friends, when you do it together. I invite you to join us. So I'll see you there. And as always, keep creating, keep sharing what you do. You make the world a better place, my friend.